went to bed, forgot about it, just woke up, and I was like, hey, I don't think I resolved it. So hopefully that's resolved, and it's time to begin. It's time to start our morning live side splits work. All right. Oh, it is 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to make the suffering we're about to do a little bit less awful. To make it a little bit easier to practice consistency. All right. I think that's the spiel. So let's get into the exercises. First thing I'm going to do is called hip cars. Hey, welcome back over on YouTube. Jax JXN. Okay. Welcome, welcome. Awesome. Okay. Thank you for supporting on YouTube. I appreciate it. Okay. Let's go. We're getting started with hip cars. High knee is how we're starting. We're going to open up the leg off to the side next. Then we're going to rotate the leg so that the knee and the ankle are at the same straight line across the body, right? From here, we're going to keep rotating. We're going to keep on bringing the ankle up, 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 until your hamstrings are about to cramp. Then we're going to bring the leg down and back. Straight back behind you. When it's behind you, we're flexing the hamstrings, we're flexing the glutes, we're feeling a stretch right here in the front, and that is 1 rep, all right? We're going to do 10 of these on the left side. We're going to do 10 of these on the right side. So let's get ready to go. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Down and back. Take these as fast or as slow as you want. The slower you go, the more intense each of these movements will be, and the more demanding on your strength it will be. That is up to you, but we got 10 reps on each side, back and forth to do. So if you, I'm off balance, go a little too slow, you're going to be super exhausted by the time we finish. And you're just going to have to figure out how much effort you want to put into these in the very beginning. But this is our warm up. All right. And I think this is 5. Knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. 6. Knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 7. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That is 10 hip curls. Hip curls, all about using your own muscles to bring your legs to these crazy positions, building strength in those positions, and slowly getting more mobile, getting stronger, having more control all at the same time. All right? Keisha's back. Good morning. I won my Taekwondo tournament yesterday. Happy Mother's Day to whom it applies. Keisha, congratulations. That's awesome. Amazing. That's so cool. I want to win tournaments too. Okay, let's keep going. Hip guys, high knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. When we're doing these, I want you to focus on trying to bring that knee up higher and higher and higher, opening that leg wide, pointing it out to the side, rotating that leg so the ankle is really high, bringing that leg deep down and back. All right, that's 5, I think. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's comments today. And we got Happy Mother's Day and congratulations. Indeed, indeed, indeed. Happy Mother's Day. All right. And cars forward is done. Let's wrap up a reverse hip cars real fast. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong. Bring the leg down and back. All right. We're not doing anything crazy. We're not kicking out way over there. We're not putting pressure here in the low back. We're just taking it nice and slow, nice and gentle, focusing on contracting the muscles, feeling a stretch here in the front of the hip, and then we're going to do everything else the same exact way we just did them, just in reverse. All right, let's go. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's three. I'm going to do the rest facing you so it's easier to mirror. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's five. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's six. You can tell I'm slowly warming up because I'm losing balance less and less. But of course, as soon as I say this, I'm probably going to throw myself off balance. That's seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Whew. One last leg, and we're done with our hip curls. Let's get ready to go. Cat World says great balance. Oh, thanks. All right, let's do it. Core nice and tight. Let's bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, and let's begin. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's two. Ooh, off balance, back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. On the topic of balance, if you are at home and you're struggling with balance a little bit, feel free to stick your hands out, grab a wall. Usually, I've been in the past couple of months demonstrating with my hand against the wall for balance, but I watched a video of somebody trying to follow along from uh, TikTok, I think, a couple months ago, and their legs were going crazy places that I was not expecting. So I decided it's time to go back to mirroring so that you guys can have an easier time trying to figure out that leg is doing. All right, so now I spin back and forth, and we try to keep you entertained and distracted and working out at the same time. I think that's seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's eight. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's nine. Last one. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 10. Whew. We are done with the hip curls and reverse hip curls. That is the first warm-up exercise. And if you don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build community in, to make the suffering that we're about to put ourselves through a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, and a little easier to stay consistent with. I show up every day. That does not mean you have to show up every day. All right? That's just how I show up for the world so that we can practice consistency together. And you don't have to do that. But it is 13 minutes into the hour, and I think my rest is over. I got to get into this second warm up exercise. Let's go. Whew. I don't know why I'm so out of breath. All right, let's continue. The second warm up exercise is called the elephant walk, and I think because I'm folded forward, the dog thinks it's playtime, so he's gonna come visit. But he was so chill and quiet for the previous exercise. Okay, what we're doing here is trying our best to chill. Let the low back relax, feel the hamstring stretch, build, and breathe. And from here, we're going to add a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee, straighten out the other leg. Then we're going to bend the other knee, straighten out the other leg, and then keep on switching back and forth. You're going to keep on feeling that stretch in your hamstrings. You might feel it on both legs at the same time. They'll just be slightly different because one leg is bent and one leg is straight. And that's fine. That's cool. That's good. All right. Keep going. At some point, you might notice you're feeling a stretch in your butt. And That is likely because your hamstrings, they kind of start and connect below and behind the knee, and they go into the bottom of your pelvis. And when you're folded forward like this, the bottom of your pelvis pretty much is right smack dab in the middle of your butt. All right. Whew. So that's probably what that is. Once you have done a bunch of these and you're starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with them, we're going to fold a little bit deeper. We're going to keep going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our elephant walks. Come on back into standing, and we're going to move on into some thoracic rotation. All right. Thoracic rotation is basically this, or rotating this chunk of the spine, adding a little bit of movement into our bodies, and we're going to use the same setup as we did for the elephant walk to do them. All right. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, our belly button is folded down. Our arm from the bent leg side is reaching across to the straight leg. It's pushing against that shin to rotate. We're sticking our other arm up into the air. Our neck is rotating to look at that arm, and we are going to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and reach over our shoulders. Then we're going to do the other side. Come on over. That's 1 rep. All right. Again, bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Inhale. Exhale. Reach a little further. That's 2. Other side. 2. We got 3 more. Let's go. Bent leg, bent arm, straight leg. Fold that belly button forward. Reach the arm up. Rotate the neck to look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale. And reach. That's 3. And 3. I talk fast. You do not have to move fast. All right. Take your time. Go at your own pace. I talk a lot, have a lot of filler conversation, and then after this, I even go start explaining another move. So you got plenty of time. Take it nice and chill. Go as you can, and let's continue. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Breathe. That's 4. Other side. That's 4 again. We got last one. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg, open, 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 open. 5. Exhale, relax. Other side. Exhale, relax. Oof. That is some thoracic rotation. Your shoulders might be a little bit tired because they never spend very much time reaching back behind you like this. That's okay. Just give it a little light movement. That should go right away. And then add a little bit of movement into your back, into your spine. Work those muscles that we just stretched out. And oh, let's get ready to move on into stretch number 4. Warm up exercise number 4. Excuse me. We're going to do some Cossack switches. They look a little bit like this. One leg is down deep in a squat, the other leg is extended. And we're going to scoot our butt to the other side, and then we're going to come back. All right? It's 1 to the left and 1 back to the right. And what we're going to do is pre-warm up our warm up. I want you to drop into a little bit of a squat. I want you to chill here, real deep, real low for a second. Try to bring your heels up, actually. You don't have to bring them all the way down because we want to feel that Achilles tendon stretch. We want to feel that calf stretch. We want to fold at the hips, bring the chest down to the knees, and we want to chill here for a little bit. All right? Breathe, inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. Once you've been here for a little bit, and you're feeling a little bit more comfortable, we're going to add a little dance, add a little wiggle, add a little shimmy, just a little tiny bit of movement, however comfortable that movement is for you. And do a little shimmy. Push the knees back, push the knees forward, open the leg to the side, open the leg to the other side, bring them all together with some movement. Have fun with it. All right. What we're doing is getting our ankles, our knees, our hips prepared for the movement that's coming in the next movement, the Cossack switch. All right. This, comparatively, it's going to be pretty gentle. Whew. All right. When you're ready, let's move on and let's get into the Cossack switch. Put your legs, or I gotta move. You don't have to go anywhere actually. Stick your arms straight down into the ground around your legs. All right. Extend one leg out to the side, and this is our starting position. Next, we're gonna put this heel down on the ground for a little bit of stability. When you are on your toes or something like that, your muscles are firing real hard, and it's gonna be much harder to hold your balance when your legs are tired. With your heels down, it'll be a lot easier. All right. And immediately I go off balance. Great. Next, we're going to try and get as low as we can into this squat. If you're starting now, this is your first time on the live, and you're a little bit higher up, that's awesome. Perfect. If you have been doing movement for a while, if you've been training, you've been doing this live for a while, and you can get quite a bit deeper, then go deeper. All right. Wherever you are in the spectrum of squat, we're screwing our butts over to the other side. All right. You can use your hands to give yourself a little bit of assistance. You can grab a chair to give yourself a little bit of assistance. You can try to do this without your hands at all, especially if you're a little bit higher up off the ground. All right. Once we get over to the other side, we're going to try and take a breath in. Exhale. We're going to try and sink a little bit deeper into our stretched out position at the bottom. Then we're going to fire all those muscles and come on back. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these in total. Let's get ready to go. Just pushing that chair out of the way so I don't kick it in a second. And let's get ready to begin. Leg out, heel down, deep squat, across. One. Come on back. One. Across. Two. Back. Two. If I'm going fast, let me know. I'm going to slow it down though. Here's three. And three. If you don't need your hands anymore, because you're like, oh, I'm strong enough to do this, no worries. Go ahead, remove your hand. If you're looking for more of a challenge, instead of leaning forward, try to sit up a little straighter. Point the top of your head straight up into the ceiling. That's five, I think. Now five. Keep going. Across. Sink into it. Come on back. Six. At this point, if your knees, the inside of your legs are going a little crazy because this position, switching back and forth here, is a little uncomfortable for you, get some alternatives, right? What I want you to do is focus on coming up a little bit first, coming across, then sinking down into that stretch, and then up, across, down. That's seven. Again, up, across, down. The reason why we're going up is to help make the move a little bit more comfortable for you, right? So don't hesitate to go a little bit higher. And we're at eight. When you take the go a little bit higher thing super seriously and you go as high as possible, you're going to end up in a Cossack squat. And you can go ahead and come on down on the other side. And all the way up. That's nine. Come on back down. And I think this is number 10. We are done. Whether Cossack switches or Cossack squats or Cossack whatevers, those are done. That is our warm up. If that sentence scares you, because you're like, wait, what? That's the warm up? That was crazy. Don't worry, this is a stretching and hip mobility show. What we did was warm up the muscles, get those joints ready, put them in crazy positions so that we can get the most out of our next couple of stretches. We got 5 stretches coming up, and the first one is a hamstring stretch. All right? What I want you to do right now is to grab a sip of water and also to grab something to kneel on. All right. We are setting up the hamstring stretch like this. One leg is going to be on the ground. One leg is extended out in front, and our belly button is going to be coming down towards the leg like so. This does not have to be a fancy foam mat. It could be a yoga mat you fold up a couple of times. It could be dirty laundry you roll up a couple of times. It could be a stuffed animal that your dog ripped up. Stick it under your knee. Perfect. All right. I'm going to also grab something to drink because my mouth is so dry. And we shall continue. Okay. Hamstring stretch. To start, I would like you to bring both knees down onto your little bit of knee protection. All right. I want you to stand up nice and straight. I want you to flex your glutes, flex your core, and just be like, ooh, look how tall I can stand when I am kneeling. Once you have messed around with this position a little bit, I want you to pay doubly attention. I don't even know what I'm saying. Be extra thoughtful about not having one hip lean off to the side, not chilling and relaxing, not slouching, standing up really straight, really strong, like you're doing a plank, except you're going upwards and not sideways. All right. Once you've done that, we're ready to continue. We're going to extend one leg out in front. And this leg, if it's too close to your other leg, you're too compacted, it's going to be a little bit harder to balance. You can open up that leg a little bit, open up that stance, and that will help you balance a little bit. All right? Try not to get to this point where you're doing a completely different stretch, but a little wider is fine. From here, we're folding the belly button down to the thigh. All right? Wee. I'm going to rotate around so you don't just stare at the top of my head while we do this, and we'll see from the sides. All right? Once you are here and you're feeling that hamstring stretch because you're folding forward into that leg, all I want you to do is breathe for a second. Inhale, exhale. Let your body drape over that leg. All right? If you are trying to smash your head into your knee, you're working too hard. Anything above your belly button should be chill, should be relaxed. You shouldn't have a whole bunch of tension right now. If your back is rounded like this because you're trying to face smash your knee smash your face, then you're working too hard. Next, we're going to see if we can drop a little tiny bit deeper, and then we're going to do some knee to chest movement. All right. What I mean by that is we have our legs straight. We're going to give it a slight bend, and we're going to focus on trying to bring the knees down to that chest, or sorry, the chest down to that knee. And we're going to do a little bit of this. Just a little bit of gentle motion, helping you to get deeper into that fold before we straighten out the leg. All right. For a lot of people, if you start folding immediately, your hips won't be what's folding, which is the only thing that we care about. You'll start doing this. And that is why we're trying to bring that knee up out of that stretch so that you can focus on bringing your chest and your whole upper body down towards that leg. All right. Once you're here, you'll know what you got to do when you straighten out that leg. Cool? All right, once you've done a couple of those, back and forth, get back into that straightened leg position, and we're going to do something to make it a little bit harder. We're going to do the inhale, exhale, fold. Basically, we're taking a big old inhale of air, and then we're going to slowly exhale all of that air out, and then we're going to fold the belly buttons down the whole time and try to get a little bit deeper. All right, let's do it. Big inhale. Exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Exhale. Whew. We're a little bit deeper in our stretch. Great. Now, if your hamstrings are feeling crazy, take a quick breath here. Inhale. Exhale. Loudly let that air relax out of your body and drape your body over that leg. If your hamstrings are feeling crazy right now, you can give yourself a light massage. Poke your hamstrings with your fingers, and let's continue. If you need it, feel free to do a little bit of knee bending. Bring that chest down to that leg and see if that helps you chill a little bit more in your stretch. That is part 2. We got one last inhale, exhale, fold. Let's do it. Inhale. Exhale and fold. That is our third and final part. Man, it sounds long when I say it has 3 parts, but it does, I guess. All right. Bend that knee one more time, 2 more times, 3 more times. See if you can get a little bit more comfortable in this stretch, and we're ready to begin. 30 seconds is how long we're holding this for. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. We got one more. Other leg. Let's get ready to go. Again, take a moment. Stand up nice and straight. Flex the core. Clench those butt cheeks. Stay nice and tall. Feel as tall as you can. Reach that head up into the air, and let's continue. But bring the other leg out in front. All right. Belly button coming down. Woo. Come into that stretch. Breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. And let's do the chest to the knee thing. You don't have to touch your chest to the knee. We're doing that slight bend in the knee to make it easier for your hamstring to relax so that you can fold. When your leg is fully straight, your hamstring is going to be ultra tight, right? And you're feeling that tightness. If you give it a slight bend, you relax it a little bit, your chest will be able to come down a little bit more, and it will be easier for you to feel the difference between this, where you're trying to reach forward, versus this, where you're actually folding forward. It's all coming from the hips, all right? Anything above your belly button that's rounded, that's feeling tense, you're doing too much. You don't need those things. The hamstring stretch, the hamstring is right here. Everything comes from the hips folding forward. Cool? All right. Extend those legs, bend them, extend them, bend them, extend them, and let's straighten it back out and get ready to inhale, exhale, fold. Y'all ready? Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Come on down a little bit deeper into the stretch. Whew. And if you're ready, do a little bit more knee bend. You don't have to go as extreme as I demonstrate. You don't have to come all the way up and all the way down, all the way up and then all the way back down. You can just do a little tiny bit of movement. All right? Whew. We got one last inhale, exhale, fold, I'm pretty sure. So let's get it done and finish these up. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Woo! That is our stretch. Feel free to add one or two more knee bends and straightens. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. If you have tight tension, crazy discomfort in the knees, you can keep the knee slightly bent the whole time. You don't have to straighten out the knee if that helps with your knee pain or your knee discomfort. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Bring those legs back in. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. Oh, take a breath, take a sip of water, and let's get into stretch number 2. All right? What we're doing next is called the butterfly. I recommend you get your butt over to a wall and lean against the wall. All right? Your back, your butt, your shoulders, your head, everything is resting against the wall. From here, we're bringing the feet together. We're pulling them in to the center of our bodies, and we're going to try our best to bring our knees down into the ground. That is how we feel the groin stretch. That's what a butterfly stretch is. It's a groin stretch. You probably have seen other versions where people are folding forward as well, so it's a little bit additional groin stretch, but the primary is still a groin stretch. All right. To bring the knees down, I want you to try your best to use your outer thighs and your glutes to help open up your legs. And if you have no idea what that means because you're new to the show, don't worry about that. Just focus on two things. One, the stretch in your groin is getting more intense, and your knees have gone down just a little bit closer to the ground. If those two things are happening, you're doing great. All right? We're just trying to build a little bit more control of the muscles that help us get into this position. Just like how we do hip cars to warm up. All right, next, we're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of that leg, a couple inches in from the knee. We're going to push our legs straight down into the ground. Boom. Right now, you should be feeling some pressure in the back of your head because you're pushing your upper body into the wall, as well as pushing your legs down into the ground. That's why we're using the wall, to help us stay supported. If you have heavy dumbbells, feel free to drop them on your knees and let them passively pull your legs down. But if you don't have those, this is why we use our arms. Push your legs down and take a second to breathe. We're holding this for 30 seconds. On the exhale, see if you can open up your legs a little further. 30, 29, 28, 27. Those muscles I told you to contract earlier, you can relax them. You don't have to worry about them anymore. Those are just a sampler of what we could be doing. 25, 24, 23. Inhale, exhale, push a little harder. 22, 21. Inhale, exhale, push a little bit harder. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Keep breathing. 15, 14. If you're feeling ambitious and you're in a deeper stretch, see if flexing those muscles helps pull your legs down just a little bit deeper. 12, 11, 10, 9. And once your butt muscles are tired or whatever, you can stop. You don't have to keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5. Push a little harder. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Let the hands go. Oh, your wrists might be a little bit tired from pushing so hard. Give them a little shake, let them relax, and your legs will probably pop up just a little bit, right? What I want you to do is flap the wings of your butterfly stretch. Bring it up, bring it down, bring it up, bring it down, bring it up, bring it down, bring it up, bring it down. If your leg's not moving very fast at all, they're barely moving, you're like, ugh, what is happening with my legs? You can grab them, give them a nice shake, help them wake up, and you should probably be pretty even about how much time you spend on each leg because you'll feel the difference. But once you have wakened them up and they are starting to flap again, you're ready to move on into stretch number 3. We're doing some standing pancake. All right. The standing pancake is probably the hardest stretch in our whole entire show. And that is because it combines two muscles that just don't want to be stretched. And it looks a little bit like this. Come on up into standing, open up your legs decently wide. If you can get to something like 60 degrees, you're doing fine. All right. If you've gone a little bit further, also, great. But if you're feeling some pinching pain in the hips, right here, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in together a little bit. All right. Once that hip is moving without that pinching pain, without those sensations, you're ready to fold. Bring this belly button down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold some more, fold. Whew. That is, this is our starting position. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Whee! Just like how we started in our elephant walks in our warm up, right? But our legs are going to be wide as comfortable. Next, the goal of this stretch is to fold and bring your upper body in between your legs. It looks a little bit like this, except a lot more extreme, and you keep going. And I can't go any further than that right now. So, what we're going to do, because this stretch is freaking hard, is use gravity to help us, right? When you're in this position, nice and horizontal, that is when the leverage from gravity will feel the most intense on your hips. It will help bring you folding forward. You want to make that stronger? Extend your arms past your ears, and next time you exhale, you should drop a little bit deeper. If that's not enough for you, feel free to add a tiny dumbbell, some random stools, some props in your house to make the whole thing a little bit more difficult. And if you find that your face is a little too close to the floor because you're so flexible, and you're like, ooh, I don't want to smash my face into the ground, we got some options. All right. The main one is stick your butt back a little bit. When your butt goes back a little bit, this leg, instead of going straight up and down, starts to form a slightly different angle. When you do that, your chest will probably come up a little bit off the ground because you're basically going from here to here, right? And if you go far enough back, you'll start losing balance. You'll feel like you're going to fall on your butt. So you can't go too far back, but you can go further if you have your arms out to counterbalance you. You don't even need the dumbbell. You can just stick your arms out to help counterbalance you. That way, you can get that crazy angle, you can keep your upper body horizontal, and you can get a crazy deep stretch. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you're ready to go because I'm out of other words. Open up your legs as wide as comfortable, and let's go. Sit your butt back. Extend your arms out in front. 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done. Put your hands down. Oh, come out of that stretch. Oh, if your inner thighs are fried right now, feel free to use your toes and your heels, your feet, to walk your legs back in. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. Whew. Push off those thighs. Come on back into standing and waddle around just a little bit. Introduce some gentle movement. Shake out the butt. Shake, 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 and hopefully you're starting to move a little bit better. The standing pancake has two main stretches happening at the same time, and they are both painful. The first one, I mean, painful. I say that in the funnest way you could imagine the word painful. What I mean is uncomfortable because we're in a crazy stretch. If it was a sharp, tingly, truly intense, painful sensation, you're doing something not quite right, or maybe your body's not ready for that. So you can pull back the intensity if that's what you're feeling. But otherwise, if you're just feeling some regular stretching discomfort, that's probably fine. If you're walking around now feeling a little bit of tension in your butt and otherwise you're working fine, that was probably regular stretching discomfort. If you're walking around right now, go, oh, okay, that was crazy. What the heck? That might be a little too much. Dial back the intensity. Cool. Next, where are we going with this? Two muscles, inner thighs and hamstrings. All right. When we open up the legs, we stretch out these muscles, your adductors, the inner thigh muscles. And when we hang out here, we're also contracting the inner thigh muscles and making them work really hard to keep us stable, to keep us in this position. All right. So if your inner thigh muscles are freaking tired right now, that is because you're contracting and you're stretching all at the same time. All right, that's hard. But there's a pro to that crazy hardness, and that is your muscles are getting a lot stronger in that position. You're getting way more control of that leg, and this is what the show is about. Slowly building up control, slowly building up strength. Next, while we were folding forward, we're feeling it in the hamstrings, right? Doesn't matter if your legs are together while you're trying to touch your toes, or if your legs are apart and you're trying to fold your body into the middle because we're doing the pancake, your hamstrings are going to be feeling it. And that's basically it. Those are the two stretches. Whew. That was stretch number 3. We're going to move on into stretch number 4. And we got the option between the figure 4 and the pigeon stretch. Yesterday we did the pigeon twice, both in the morning and the afternoon. So now we're going to move on to do some figure 4s for the day. Both stretches have the same fundamentals. We're basically taking one leg, we're crossing it over to the other side. We're lifting that leg to the belly button and bringing the belly button down to that leg. Except for the figure 4, we're doing this while laying on our backs. In the pigeon, we're doing this with the leg down on the ground and we're folding into it and letting gravity pull us down. All right, so let's get into the figure 4. If you're regular, feel free to do whichever version you prefer. If you know one and you know how to do that one well, feel free to do that one instead. But I'm going to demonstrate the figure 4 for everybody else. All right, let's go. Come on down to the floor and lay down. Next, take one leg, cross it over to the other side, like so. Extend one arm through the triangle we just made between your legs, and the other arm wraps around the leg that's not crossed over our body. And we're going to pull that leg in towards our chest. All right? I want you to slowly inhale and exhale. And exhaling. While exhaling, I want you to pull that leg in a little bit closer to your chest. Feel that stretch building in the side of your butt. It's a glute muscle. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale. Pull a little bit deeper. Once you're feeling that stretch build up in intensity, we're ready to begin. 30 seconds, let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. 19, 18, 17. As you relax deeper into this stretch, when you can, see if you can pull your leg in just a little bit deeper. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, that is the figure four stretch. The figure four stretch is going to be a little bit more tiring than your pigeon stretch. And that's because to get into a deep stretch, you're doing the work. You're using your arms to pull your legs into your chest. All right. The pigeon has you mostly relying on gravity. Other side. Leg is across, arm is through the triangle, around the other leg. We're bringing it into our chest. Inhale. Exhale and pull. Inhale. Exhale and pull. Inhale. Exhale and pull. And as you get deeper into that stretch, you're feeling the stretch here in the glute, maybe in the hamstring. We're ready to begin. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Whew, we are done. Interesting. What else we get? What else we get? Over on TikTok, we have just received a warning saying that I'm in positions that are too sexual and my behavior is a little too much, which kind of is crazy, but okay. So give me a second, real quick, while I fill out this feedback form from TikTok because it's blocking off the whole entire screen. Share your feedback to make our community better. I understand this decision, but the restriction is too strict. Okay, TikTok should allow content like mine. The notice is unclear. I'm not sure why I got this restriction. My live does not contain the content mentioned in the notice. The decision is fair and the restriction is reasonable. I don't think that's true, so let's hit submit. All right. Whew. All right, let's continue. The whatever the text on screen has the feedback form has disappeared now that I hit submit. So let's get back into our final stretch. We're doing some side splits. All right. If you're just joining in for the first time, welcome, welcome. Happy Mother's Day. And we're doing 45 to 60 minutes. Actually, it's already 48 minutes in. So we're doing 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we are doing, that we are going to continue doing, a little bit more fun, a little bit easier to practice consistency with. All right. Hey, Charlie, don't worry. It happens. It's all good. I'm not worried. Um, that's the purpose of our show, to practice a little bit of consistency. I show up every single day, Monday through Sunday, to do this live with you guys, to help you stay consistent, to help you build your consistency, and also, of course, some hip mobility and some side splits, right? If you like that, if you like that kind of stuff, hip mobility, side splits, accountability, consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back because that will make it easier for me to also practice consistency. All right, let's go. We're getting into some side splits. If you've never done one before, don't worry about it. We're going to break it down to little pieces and we're going to go nice and slow. You can stop, you can pause, you can chill at any time. And when you're ready, you can jump right back in and go a little bit deeper. All right? Doesn't have to happen today, doesn't have to happen this week, whenever you're ready. Cool? Let's talk about safety real quick. We are going to start with our butt up against the wall. All right. There's two reasons for this. One, we're going to use it for a little bit of support later in the middle of our stretch. And two, when you're in a side split looking thing, oftentimes to get a little bit deeper, you're going to be wiggling, you're going to be squishing, you're going to be trying to find some more room in your hips, and you're going to be lower and lower and lower to the ground. At some point, you'll notice, oh, if you stick your butt back behind you a little bit, you might be able to sink a little bit deeper into that stretch. And when you hang out here in this position, sometimes you get into a situation where you go, oh, I have gone way too far. I have gone way too deep. And sorry, there's an alarm on one of the phones. And you start falling backwards. If you have a wall right behind you, your butt will rest up against the wall. Everything will be fine. Cool. If you have nothing behind you, it is much more likely that you'll do something crazy like, oh, and fall on your butt and make that really hurt. All right. We don't want you to fall. We don't want you to hurt your butt. We don't want you to start tumbling and rolling backwards. So use the wall to help keep you safe. All right. That is our quick safety lesson. Let's get ready to get into some side splits. All right. One other thing you might benefit from is a stool or a chair, something to rest your hands on when we are in this position like so. I recommend that it be relatively lightweight and mobile so that you can adjust to match where your body is. But you can also just adjust your body to match where the stool, chair, object is. I generally recommend you adjusting the thing that you're holding on to because we like to use the wall for support. The wall is very stable, very comfortable. It's your friend. So try not to get too far away from the wall. All right? Let's go. We are getting started. Let's go. We're going to stand up nice and straight, one step in front of that wall. So whenever we lose balance, we can lean against the wall for support. We're going to open up our legs nice and wide. From here, we're going to focus on chilling and folding forward. If your legs are so wide that you're feeling a pinching sensation right here, you've gone too far. Bring your legs back in. For everybody, this is going to be a little bit different depending on your anatomy, depending on your thigh bone, and depending on your hip bone. Where you start feeling uncomfortable when you just open your legs wide, it's going to be a little different. Cool? Wherever the situation is for you, bring your legs together so it's not uncomfortable and fold forward. Boom. Here's our starting position. Should look just like the standing pancake. From here, get your hand situation ready, right? Whether that's a stool, a chair, anything that is relatively stable is going to be fine. If you can fold forward enough to reach the ground, feel free to just use the ground. You don't need to elevate your hands, all right? When you are here, we're going to focus on rotating the thighs so that they never smash into your hips. They never cause that discomfort ever again. And not ever again. Well, for the duration of our stretch. And the way we do this is by rotating the leg back 90 degrees. All right. So right now, our knees, our quads are kind of pointing forward towards you guys. We're going to rotate the leg, boom, so that the knee is pointing up, the toes are pointing up, and the heel is down. All right. Other side. Toes pointing up, knees pointing up, heels are down. From here, we're going to open up our legs nice and wide and drop a little bit deeper into our stretch. If you're a beginner on the show, feel free to pause here. Feel free to not go as deep. Feel free to take it easy until you get a little bit more comfortable with this position. Okay? Because the first time you get in here, all your muscles are going to be going crazy, freaking out. They're like, what the heck is going on? This is not okay. That is normal. Take your time, breathe, chill, relax, and for the rest of us, let's continue. Why don't you take a big breath in, inhale. And as you exhale, see if you can relax and drop a little bit deeper. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Drop a little bit deeper. Do a little lean to the right, little lean to the left, little lean to the right. Push your legs out a little bit further each time and see if you can get just a little bit deeper. Now, I want you to walk your hands towards your hips. That's going to put more of your body weight right over your legs. It's going to put a little bit more pressure into your stretch. If you have a stool, feel free to pull your stool up to your hips and rest your hands right on top of them. That will be cool. All right. If you're low enough to the ground that you can keep your hands down, rest your butt against the wall and try and sit into your stretch a little bit. All right. As you drop little bit at a time, and again, it doesn't have to happen today, slowly over the course of the next couple of weeks, feel that stretch building, get more intense, and I just want you to focus on breathing. I want you to focus on relaxing. I want you to focus on chilling. What that means is right now, if your knees are pointing up, the top of your head is pointing up, you're still probably holding your side split position, and you can start relaxing all the muscles. I told you to point your knees up. I told you to point your toes up. Once you're in position, you don't have to keep pointing your toes up, all right? Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your calves, relax your hamstrings, relax your glutes, relax your low back. Inhale, exhale. Try to relax a little bit deeper into the stretch. That's it. This is our starting position. We're here for 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Feel free to do a little wiggle to either side. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, we're done with that stretch. Walk your hands forward, pull your legs out of that crazy stretch, bring your legs in nice and slow. Take it. Oh, easy. All right. Oh, that is our stretch. That is part one. We're doing 3 rounds of this. So we got to shake out all the tension, all the craziness you're feeling in your hips. We're going to try our best to relax a little bit more so that we can get into a deeper second stretch and a deeper third stretch. When you're ready, slowly come back up into standing. I encourage you to grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. Let's go. We're going to start shaking and relaxing by flopping around one ankle at a time. All right? When your ankles are just going crazy places all over the place, however it feels like it wants to go, chances are all the muscles that control the foot, that flex it, that point it, that let it do circles, all those muscles have to be relaxed enough to allow your ankle to go flopping everywhere. All right. So this is not about control. This is not about precision. This is about just chilling, relaxing, letting the ankle do whatever the heck it wants. Let's go. Whew, other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And whew, shake some more. Wiggle some more. Flop some more. You don't have to shake aggressively. I do it because I've been doing this show for a long time, and I do this every single day. But you start nice and gentle with a little bit of gentle movement in the ankle. That will be good. Experiment, find where you're comfortable, what is uncomfortable, and just don't get past that uncomfortable point. You can take your time with it, all right? That uncomfortable point is going to change and move slowly over time. So you don't have to, get stuck in one version for the rest of time, right? Sometimes you're just cold. And the first shake is going to be a little painful. 5 seconds later, when your ankle warms up, you'll be super loose and it'll be fine, right? Experiment, play with it. Next, once your ankles have been shooken out, you should find that it's a little easier to stand, a little easier to wiggle hips, a little easier to dance, and we're ready to move on into shaking out our thighs, our hips, upper legs. Next, I want you to put all your weight into one leg, and for the other leg, I want you to put the big toe down, right, with this knee bent. I want you to bring the leg out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in. What we're doing is we're using some muscles here in the hips to bring the legs internally rotated and then externally rotated. And as you get stronger, as you get more control, as you get more powerful, you can pick up the speed, you can pick up the tempo, you can turn this into something a little bit more fun. All right. Same thing as we're doing before. We build up a little bit of strength. we're building up a little bit of mobility. And when you get a little bit more comfortable with this, you can start shaking out the muscles. You can be all loose and floppy in the thighs and relaxed. All right, but it takes a little bit of build up to get enough strength to move fast enough to do this. Cool. So if you're a beginner, stick with internal, external rotation. The only thing that's moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your hip, and you're using a bunch of muscles sort of behind the butt in the front of the hip to do this. All right? And take your time, do a couple, shake it out, do some dance, and that should have you feeling pretty loose, pretty good, ready to get into side split number 2. I'm gonna take a quick look at this giant looking comment. Jax says, drink lots of water to help. Go slowly and carefully. Do what you can and listen to your body. Some soreness is normal. Ooh, what came in before this? Keisha says, I finally interior pelvic tilted for the first time correctly a few days ago when doing my side split during the live on Thursday, and my back has been hurting. Is that normal? Let's see. Anterior pelvic tilt. Your back is hurting. Where in your back are you feeling discomfort? More like sore. If it's the first time ever that you're getting into a position and you're feeling sore afterwards, that's pretty normal. Uh, yeah, I don't think you described pain because you just won a Taekwondo competition this the other day, like yesterday. So you're probably fine generating strength. You're probably fine maneuvering your hips. You're probably fine tilting. And I would imagine that a little bit of soreness is fine. If it has not gone away in 2 or 3 more days, then that would be abnormal. But I think from the sounds of it, it is good. Mid to lower back. Okay, well, let's go. What are we doing? Side split number 2. Whew, we're taking one step in front of the wall so that we're close enough to the wall for support, for safety. We're opening up our legs nice and wide. We are opening up a little further if it's comfortable in the hips, and then we're going to fold and bring our belly buttons down into the ground. Next, we're going to put our hands down on the floor if we can. If we cannot or we don't want to, feel free to use a stool, use something to help elevate your hands to help you be a little bit more stable. All right. From here, we're opening up the legs just a little bit wider. When you're folded forward, you should be able to go a little bit wider without discomfort. But we're going to do the thing that is going to get the thigh bone not smashing into the hip bones, and that is rotating the leg. So right now, your knees are kind of pointing forward. What we want to focus on is, boom, rotating the whole entire leg. So thighs, calves, toes, everything, rotating it so that the knees are pointing up and the toes are pointing up and the heel is down. Heel down, toes up, knees up. All right. Once you have rotated your legs in this direction, you're in a side split. Chill, breathe, relax. Whew. Inhale, exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale, exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Inhale, exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. Do a little wiggle to the right, wiggle to the left. Again, if you're brand new to the show, this is feeling crazy right now, you don't have to push any harder. All right? Chill, relax. Give your body a chance to get used to it. All right? Whew. We're ready. Let's keep going. Walk your hands towards your hips. Rest your butt against the wall if you can. If you cannot, that is absolutely okay. But if you have a stool that you can use to support yourself and you can bring your butt up to the wall, it'll give you a lot more security. It'll give you a lot more support. All right. That way you don't feel like you're leaning too far back. That way you don't feel like you're leaning too far forward. You can just rest and chill with your butt and your hips supported between the wall and the stool. All right. Being able to relax is super important. That's what this tension is. It's keeping you from relaxing and it's holding you up real tight in this position that you're stuck in. All right. So the more you're able to focus on being relaxed, the less stress you have in your body, the more comfortable you are because you're like, I'm safe, I can't fall, I'm feeling supported. The easier it will be to chill, the easier it will be to relax, the easier it will be for your body to let you get into a deeper stretch. All right. Where are we going with this? We're here. We're going to move into stretch number 2 of the side split. What I want you to do is try to bring your hands down if possible and walk your hands forward a little bit, like so, with your hands underneath your shoulders. If you're still using a stool, you can absolutely still stick with it. But I think for most people, you can probably do this because we're holding almost a push up looking position and you're just opening up your legs wide. All right. What we're doing from here is we're taking that stretch that was like this and we're just rotating it forward a little bit, rotating it 45 degrees. This way, you're going to feel it more in your inner thighs, right? That is very important because then it's one of the main muscles in your side split. And now we're going to focus on it. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Walk your hands forward. Slowly bring your legs in underneath you. If your legs are super tense right now, it might be a little bit difficult. So take your time, chill, breathe, relax, and ho ho ho. That is our second side split. We're almost done. We got one last round of side splits. And in between, of course, we got to shake out the tension because my legs are not working real well right now. Slowly come up into standing. Ugh. And let's go. Shake it out. Shake out the ankles. Nice and gentle to start. Pick up the intensity as you find it is comfortable to do so. And shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. You don't have to lift your leg this high. I'm just doing it to lift it over the chat in the live. If you're on mobile, like I am, the chat takes up the bottom half of the screen. So shake it out. Switch to the other side. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And when your legs are feeling a little bit more chill, a little bit more relaxed, you're able to move. We're ready to move on into some hip stuff. All right. All your weight is one leg. Big toe of the other leg is down. We bring that leg in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. All right. Once you got the basics down, feel free to take it up and make it fun. Take it up a level, make it fun. You have worked on bringing the leg in. You've worked on pushing that leg out. Now you can combine it with some other movement. You can do some stanky leg, pull that leg in, push that leg out after rotating it the other way, bring it back, reset, and bring the leg in and push it back out and bring it back in and push it back out and bring it back in and push it back out. We're building strength, we're building control, we're building some grace and fanciness with our little hip rotation. All right. Other side. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Working those hips, trying to build control. Right. These are the same muscles that we've been using for basically everything. We're just very directly focusing on very couple specific ones. All right. And again, pull that leg in, push that leg out, pull the leg in, push that leg out, pull the leg in, push that leg out. You don't have to make it super graceful and artsy and dancy if you don't want to. You can be like, pull, out, pull, out. And that hopefully has completely exhausted your legs. So now we got to shake it out for realsies and help them relax. Do a little dance, shake it out, shake, 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 shake. If you're ready to upgrade to the hardest version of this, I want you to put all your weight into one leg, big toe is down, and we're gonna just start shaking this thigh like crazy. Right? We want the thigh muscles to be relaxed. We want them to be loose, and we want them to go. Because at the end of the day, all of this shaking is to help your muscles relax, to help get rid of that stiffness from after the stretch, so that your body's chilled out and ready for side split number 3. All right, that hopefully is enough to get us there. Let's go, side split number 3. Stand with your butt against the wall. Take one step in front of it. Open up your legs nice and wide. Fold at the belly button. Bring your hands down. If you can reach the floor, awesome. If you cannot, elevate your hands. All right. From here, we're externally rotating the legs. Boom. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. And we're going to drop a little deeper into our stretch. Drop, 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 drop. Drop, 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 drop. Feel free to inhale. Exhale. And chill. All right. Next, we're going to inhale, exhale some more. Inhale. Exhale. Sit into that stretch. When you can, if you can, I want you to go ahead, rest your butt against that wall, and sink a little bit deeper into the stretch along the wall. Feel free to continue using the stool to help support you, help feel safe and comfortable. If you don't need it, great. If you do, amazing. Doesn't matter. Cool? Use whatever you got to do to help you feel comfortable in this position. Next, if your knees are pointing up and the top of your head is also pointing up, you're holding your position. Great. Relax the rest of your leg muscles. Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, hamstrings, glutes. Inhale. Exhale. Sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. This is round 3. We got options. All right. You can focus on doing the version of the stretch where we're basically sitting up nice and straight and tall. You're going to feel more of a stretch here in your hamstrings. Right? You can do the version where we kind of lean forward into this push-up looking position. You're going to feel it more in your inner thighs. You can also do a third version, and what we're going to call it is a pancake, because that is what it is. It's not a side split. But I think that's the main stretch holding me back from a deeper side split at the moment, so I am working on those during the life. You can do whatever it is that you would like of the 3. Just take a couple seconds now to set up. You know how to get into it, and we're going to hold for 30 seconds. All right, let's get ready. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that stretch. Oh, that is our stretch. Oh, bring your legs together, crawl out of it, do what you got to do, bring your legs in, and that is our third and final side split. Give me a second. I got to solve a robot puzzle for TikTok because I have been going for an hour and it wants to make sure that I am not a bot. And now my legs are tired. That is the third and final side split. We're going to come on up. We're going to shake out our legs. We're going to relax. We're going to do some quick joint checks, and then we'll be done for today. Let's go. Let's do it. Oh, come on up and standing. And get rid of the obstacles on your floor. Let's shake our ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Again, this is all about relaxation, right? So if you're going to shake, try your best to relax, flop around, combine muscles, add your arms in. They've been holding your weight, they've been supporting you. Flop around, relax, shake it out, shake, 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 shake. If you want, you can incorporate a whole bunch of other muscles into the shaking. You know how we do this and we shake out the leg? You can add that in while you shake out the ankles. You can cause the ankles to shake because you're flopping the leg this way, right? You don't have to do it exactly the way I demonstrate, especially if you've been doing this for a little bit. You've been getting more comfortable with it, you've been feeling more relaxed, you're getting more skilled at the skill of relaxing your muscles on demand. Whew. Got any cool ways of getting into it, and you got really cool ways of shaking out all these muscles all at the same time, feel free to let me know. I would like to know. All right. Now that our legs are a little bit more relaxed, let's talk about the big, big final version of that leg shake, right? We've been doing this. All the weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're bringing the leg in and out, and working on the mobility and strength of the muscles here for this hip, right? But when you get really strong, really skilled, you can still keep your weight on one leg. You can Drop the big toe of the other leg down a little bit off to the side. Give a tiny bit of a knee bend, not totally straight, just a tiny knee bend. And you can start using those muscles we've been training this whole time. Start flopping that leg around and shaking. All right. All the weight is in this leg. There's almost no weight in this leg. It can come up at any time. And what we want to do is be moving those muscles so fast, all the other tissues in the leg is going, wait, what? We're going this way? No, we're going this way. We're going this way. We're going this way. We go, what? Where are we going? And we want that floppy, loose, muscle looking thing to prove that your muscles are relaxed. Right? That's basically it. You also, there's absolutely no need for you to shake this aggressively. This is just purely for fun. And you can absolutely just stick with this and take that all the way to the end. So this is just for funsies because you're working on that super explosive, super fast, super shaky, flop, 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 flop skill, and explosiveness, shakiness, it's all good stuff. All right, we're done with the splits. We're gonna do a couple of quick joint checks. We're going to wrap up. All right, for the joint checks, there's only like three things. We're gonna slowly do some hip circles. Work your way through that range of motion. Ooh, usually after side splits, my left and right side of the hip are kind of tight, kind of tender, need a little bit of love and tension. And clearly today is one of those days. Whew. Slowly come on back around, come to the other side. Oh, okay, maybe it's just my left hip that needed the attention. Right hip doesn't seem so bad. All right, keep going. Come on back around. Also, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. All right. I am a big proponent of expressing what you're feeling. So I can't hear you anyway, and make as many sounds as you want. All right. Oh, oh, that's one direction. Other way. Come on back. And if you're feeling good, you can move on. If you need a little bit more time, feel free to take it. Whew. Do a little dance. Next, we're gonna do a quick high knee. Boom, boom on either leg. If your knees come up, you're good. You're fine. We can move on. Next, we're gonna do some calf raises from a squatted position, and this is the real joint check. It's gonna put a whole bunch of pressure on our toes, our feet, our ankles, our knees, our hips, and it's gonna force them all to work together really well to keep you balanced. Right? What I want you to do is have your feet just underneath your hips, and I want you to squat. Try to fold your chest down towards your legs. Try to push your knees forward towards your toes, even past your toes. So you get to this nice stretch in your Achilles tendon in your calves. You can poke them, double check that they're flexing real hard or they're tense right now. And we're ready to begin. Stick your hands down in front of you for support if you need it. If you don't, feel free to not do it and focus on the calf raise. I want you to balance your weight between your big toe and your index toe, or your big toe and your middle toe. I want you to push off those to pull your heels up off the ground, going straight up and down. And once you've done a couple of these, remember we're leaning forward. We're trying to get our toes to work really hard to help keep us balanced. All right? Boom. Once you've done a couple of those, let's talk about exactly what's happening. When you are leaning forward, pushing your toes forward, and your whole body feels like it's about to tip over, your toes should be firing real hard, gripping the floor, trying to keep you from toppling over. And when your toes are working so hard, the arch of your foot should also be real tense, trying to support your whole entire foot, keeping you gripped into the ground. When your knees are pushed forward like this, you get that Achilles tendon stretch, you get the calf stretch, you get that ankle mobility that you're working on. Your knees obviously feeling the pressure, your quads are firing, your low back is trying to hold you stable. And if you're able to do all those things and get that calf raise done, you're working on your balance, you're working on all of those joints and muscles, and chances are you're probably doing pretty good, and the joint check is over. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits and hip mobility today. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m., Monday through Sunday, to build a little bit of consistency, work on those side splits, and make the whole thing a little bit more fun, make it a little bit easier to stay consistent. So if you like side splits, you like hip mobility, you like consistency, feel free to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep coming back. I make other content regarding adding a little bit of mobility into your daily life. And that tends to be stuff like, hey, these are tiny itty bitty workouts that you can add in while you're waiting for your coffee to finish, while you're waiting for your microwave to finish warming up your lunch, while you're waiting for ramen to boil. And they're going to be really good and useful for you to think about and then do eventually as you incorporate a tiny little bit of movement into your regular life. I'm not, you know, telling you you got to go do an hour of fitness every other day and then train and relax and then do strength training and whatever other stuff. We already do a lot of side splits. Um, but what I am encouraging is just a little gentle movement to help keep your joints happy. Your joints are not fed and taken care of by blood. They're taken care of by movement. All right. And the way that works is there is synovial fluid in most of your joints. And that is how they are fed nutrients, how they are cleansed of things that are not bueno for your knees or your ankles or whatever anymore. And is different from how blood flows to the rest of your body. If you injure a muscle, blood flow helps feed it nutrients, helps it repair, takes away all the bad stuff. That's not how the knees work. If your knees had blood, you would be a mess whenever you jumped, whenever you took a skip. Synovial fluid is the solution to a solution because there's liquid to how your knees repair itself, and that just means you got to have a little bit of movement. And the good news is, moving a little bit usually for most people helps them feel a little bit better, frees up the hips, makes your back a little smoother, helps you feel good throughout the day. So don't sleep on those 2 minutes. Add a little bit of movement into your life when you can. If you're going to doom scroll anyway, I hope you hit follow. I hope you hit subscribe so that you see my stuff when you're doom scrolling and get that little tiny bit of a reminder to add a little bit of movement into your day. All right? That is the live. Timothy, Timsy over on TikTok just asked, "What is this, bro?" We just wrapped up like 80 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work, and we do this every single day. But usually it's a 9 p.m. show, Monday through Sunday. On the weekends, we have a bonus show, which is this one right now at 9 a.m. and we just wrapped up, so you missed it. But we're here every single day. If you like hip mobility, you like being able to move a little bit better from the ground, doing this type of stuff, side splits, squats, then you should come back for tonight at 9 p.m. Cool? All right. Ugh. Let's see. What we got? Jack says every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. on the weekends. Yes, that is correct. Thank you for that on YouTube. And what else we got? If I stretch like that, my whole body will break. Eduardo, you got this. You've been on this live for forever. You're one of my first YouTube peoples. I think that means you've been coming back and forth for months and months and months and months. You got this, Eduardo. I got full confidence in you. Maybe you're not there right now. That's okay. But you got to believe that you can get there. Because if you don't believe, how can you turn into a real boy? Actually, this is Pinocchio and Peter Pan all at the same time. I mixed up my stories. All right. Ignore all that. And I'm going to look at the chat. Give me a second. I'm going to grab a stool because my legs are tired. I don't want to squat. Whew. All right. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to take a quick look at YouTube real quick and respond to those. Jags, thank you for the support. I appreciate you hanging out there. And of course, I know it's you, Che. But you have a different username, so I want to respect the username. Jax or Chase says, maybe one day I'll reach the floor. For now, I'm just trying to get out of bed. Oh, take your time. Nice and slow. Build up to it. All right. Keisha talked about the anterior pelvic tilt earlier, and I've been thinking about it. So if there's ever been a moment where there's just a pause and it was like, was Ken going to finish that sentence? That was what I was thinking about. I think it's probably just a little bit of soreness, but you're having some mid to low back tension right here. I think what you can probably do right away is hang out on a pull-up bar and just try to relax your spine. Um, the mid to low back is designed to move really well compared to your low back. So you could probably try to do some gentle movement and go nice and slow to see if that helps. Because it could be that maybe one or two muscles in your back is firing really hard right now, and the rest of them are just chilling, and you're feeling that tension. So maybe doing a little bit of extra strength stuff will help. Um, Something that will get all of the back muscles to fire would be like this, trying to keep your back upright and straight. That will get all of the right here down to the low back firing. The low back will fire way harder because it's holding up your whole entire back at that crazy angle. But all of the spinal erectors in your spine should start firing if you do something like that. If you're in a gym environment, there are actual like pieces of equipment called back extensions, even glute ham raises, Nordic curl things that will help you get into a position where your back can fire real hard. But if you're at home, you can just try to balance on a stool, and that should be good. Actually, you don't need a stool at all. You can do, I think they're called Superman, where you just kind of sit here and you go, whee, and you try to lift yourself up. If you get all these muscles to fire for a little bit and then relax, that might help a little bit. Um, yeah. All right. Next, moving on. Keisha says, it's all good, sore back or not. I'm doing this live with you. I appreciate you fixing my assessment. Amazing. Thank you for being here, Keisha. Let's go. Eduardo says, good morning. Eduardo sending good vibes from Brazil. Appreciate it. And I'm going to scroll some more. Kitchen counter exercises. Yes, those are some of the videos that I make. I like to make videos about real life places and real life homes where you can think about just a tiny, tiny, tiny little bit of movement. All right. When you're at the kitchen, when you're in the dining room, when you're on the couch watching TV, those are all places you can get a little bit of exercising. When you're watching the unskippable YouTube ad, when you're uh, I don't know, getting some weird hiccup on Netflix. Those are quick little moments where if you thought of doing a little bit of exercise and you got a little bit of exercise done, it'd be really good for you. So that's the general pitch for the rest of the channel. Rest of the content. All right, I'm gonna scroll over on TikTok and see what's going on here. MCV says, "Take it easy on us today. Is Mother's Day. How'd it go? Was it easier? Did you suffer just as much as usual?" Okay, I'm gonna scroll real quick, see what else we got. Kami Kaito says, Ken, hi, that's me. I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling, I'm scrolling. Bolay asks, what does this exercise help with? I don't know what specifically you're referring to, but most of the things that we're doing helped build up some hip mobility and strength. Not that much strength, mostly hip mobility, but you need a little bit of strength in order to build up hip mobility. What else did we do? We did some hamstring stretches. We did some Cossack switches. If you were to do any exercise, by the way, like I was saying, for 2 minutes while you're waiting for something to happen, the Cossack switch is going to be really good bang for your buck. All right. We're doing this nice intense stretch over here on the side, basically doing a side split on one leg. We're doing a deep squat on the other leg. We are working on all these muscles in the hip to transition from side to side. You build a lot of strength, you build a lot of control, all in one move. That means that it's going to be a little bit harder to learn. It's going to be a little bit harder to get good at it because there's a lot of complexity. You're balancing, you're shifting your weight, you're going from side to side. But if you're only going to do 10 reps of anything, this combines a lot of muscles. So, Cossack switch. What else were we working on? That would be a question. We had the hamstring stretch, the butterfly stretch, the standing pancake, the pigeon, and the side splits. I feel like during the stretches, I explain what those are for. The pigeon, you're going to feel it here in the side of the hip. This is technically a glute muscle, and all these different muscles have to work well and be loose and flexible enough for you to drop into a side split. At the end of the day, all of the stretches that we do, all of the things that we do are going to help us get into a deeper side split, right? The side split is just a cool goal. The real thing that matters is hip mobility, and a little bit of strength goes a long way with that hip mobility, right? That's why we spend so much time in this standing pancake, just holding it here, contracting these muscles. That's why we spend so much time doing hip cars, lifting our knee as high as we can with our own muscles, opening up that hip, rotating the leg, bringing it down, and working on that range of motion. Um, it gives you control and lets you do things that you otherwise might struggle with if you didn't have that hip mobility. Some of those things are going to be not very visible, right? Sometimes, if your hips just aren't moving that well, you start walking a little bit like this, or you start walking a little bit like this. Little things impact a lot more than you think, and the hips are basically how the rest of your body connects with the ground, right? And the hips generate a ton of power. There's a lot of musculature tied to your hips. The reason why humans have butts and most other animals don't have butts is because we stand upright and our hips handle a lot of work in order to keep us upright. So when stuff, the muscles around your hips are a little bit weak, a little bit less mobile. You get a little bit stuck, you get a little bit stiff because you're sitting in a chair all day. These muscles are all tight in the front, and you're compensating by going like this to stand up straight. Or your resting position ends up looking like this, like you have a belly, even though you don't. Those are all signs that your hips need a little bit of love, need a little bit of work. Okay, that's what we're working on. It's not necessarily, hey, this is the targeted issue that we're working on. It's mostly, hey, these are ranges that a healthy hip should be able to get into with some control, with some strength. And that generally is what we're focusing on. Does that make sense? I wish I saw your question when it came in, because then I'd be able to give you a more specific answer to the specific thing that we were doing. But in general, that's a good summary of what the show's about. All right, let's go. Andy says, "Me too," but my body says, "No, baby, you need to move." Yeah, yeah. Luckily, we encourage a lot of movement. In general, I care that you move a lot more than I care about you getting the side splits. Um, yeah, cool. All right, let's keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Chireth says, "Wow, that's wild." Oh yeah, that was the notification from TikTok, wondering if I was breaking rules with sexual content, which I don't think I am. I literally dressed like a hobo. Gyatari says, "Woo, I felt that." And let's see. Why'd you ask? How are you still able to walk in that position? I've been doing this life for a long time. I've built up a lot of strength and endurance in some of these crazy positions because I've been doing this show for a long time. And I don't know. I assume that's just what it is. But that shaking and relaxing thing that I do at the end that looks really silly, I promise it's not that silly. It's actually very, very useful skill. For any other thing that you're doing where your muscles get real tense or they get real tight, it is very useful to be able to relax those muscles quickly, right? Uh, when you're cramping up and the muscles are just firing and they shouldn't be, maybe that won't do much to help with that specific use case. But in general, if you are feeling tight and tense and you're all scrunched up after doing an exercise, being able to consciously go, oh, I'm going to relax, shake out the tension, helps your body reset a little bit so that when you go back to exercise, when you're about to do that next thing, you can get a full contraction, you get a full rep, and you can do the thing that you're trying to do. All right. And, we've been doing this live for something like 500 days in some way, shape, or form. This live hasn't been perfectly the same the whole time, but uh, when you put in the reps, when you relax on demand as much as you can, often it helps. So I hope that's the answer, but I don't know. I don't know. Probably just because I've done a lot of reps, so my body's used to it now at this point. All right, let's see what else we got. What else we got? Chereth says, thank you. Lovely. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. I think I'm at the bottom of the chat. That is everything. All right. Che says, I'll see you later tonight. And he is out. All right. Me too. Me too, me too, me too. We are 90 minutes ish deep into the live. I have run out of comments. So we're going to wrap up. Shameless self promotion, because I forgot about it earlier. I make other YouTube videos, and some of them are about calisthenic skills. If you need to go, please do go. Don't wait up for me to show off. And there's 3 moves I have tutorials for. They're very beginner friendly because they don't require that much strength, and they're more skill based. They're more balance based. All right. The 3 moves are the frog stand, the crow pose, and the elbow lever. The frog stand looks a little bit like this. You stick your elbows into the butt crack between your calf and your thigh, right here, and you do the same on the other side. You point your index fingers up into the sky, you spread your fingers nice and wide, you stick your hands straight down in the ground wherever they can reach, and you lean forward onto those hands. All right, from the side, it looks a little bit like this. Your arm is basically going straight up, and you're just resting your leg on that arm. You don't have to hold very much weight, and so as long as you get a little pillow in front of you to keep you from falling forward, that should be pretty cool to start out on hand balancing. All right. Next, it's got a big brother sibling. Once you figure that out and get a little bit more comfortable, there's a version called the crow pose where you rest the flattest part of your knee that you can get onto your tricep. All right. I tend to recommend you try and get to your almost your elbow, so the insertion point of your tricep, because if you get to like the soft parts of your tricep, it's going to be a little bit more stabby with your pointy knee bones. All right, it's going to be less comfortable essentially. But when you have found a nice flat part of your knee and a place on your arm to rest on your tricep to rest your hand, you can bring your arms and legs a little closer together. That'll help you stay nice and strong. Again, stick your index fingers up into the air, spread your hands, put them down, and I'm going to spin this way because it looks cooler this way. We're going to get ready for the crow pose. This is really cool because you learn how to basically take that balancing that we were doing for the frog stand to the next level. You stick your butt real high into the air, and that unlocks some other skills as you get more comfortable with this, including handstands. All right. What else? What else? What else? Last skill. Elbow lever. Elbow lever looks a little bit like this. We're doing a plank with our bodies on our elbows. And when you get stronger, you can lift up, you can kiss the ground, you can drop your legs, you can swim like a frog, and you can mess around with it. The elbow lever is definitely the coolest party trick because it looks the most impressive out of the 3. If you're interested in those movements, feel free to go check out the YouTube videos that I got explaining them. And feel free to jump back into the chat tomorrow for the live to ask questions about it. All right. We're here every single day, Monday through Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. And on the weekends, we have this bonus live that you're on right now at 9 a.m. It is currently not 9 a.m. because we've been running for about an hour and a half. It is currently 10:37 a.m. for me. So if you need to put it down in your calendars, this live started an hour and 37 minutes ago. This happened on Saturday and Sunday. Otherwise, in like 10 hours and 23 minutes or something like that, we have our regular scheduled PM live. That's it. I hope you check out the rest of the content. I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed. I hope you're feeling good because you crushed your morning workout. And I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I'm going to close out the lives. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Keep coming back. Okay, bye. One last look at the chat before I close out, and everything looks good. Room to breathe says high jumps. High jumps are scary. It's a lot of technique. Closing out. Bye. All right. Thanks, Eduardo. I appreciate it. Wow, that guy is super elastic. Thanks. All right. Have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys